We're going to talk about our holes in our soul. We all have them. These are the places in us where we have pain and we have wounds in places that we try to avoid now, but they cause us to feel empty. So they really want to be felt, but why don't we want to go to them? Well, because feeling our feelings actually is uncomfortable, and feeling those sensations in our body, it's uncomfortable. Tightness in your gut or in your throat or tension. There are all these ways that we have found to creatively cut off and avoid feeling. For some of us, we've experienced trauma, and so it's not safe in some ways to feel our feelings because it caused us to have other repercussions or consequences, but also to feel our actual sensations in our body is scary. So we've found a way to cut off and just be as heads just walking around. And I remember when I was in yoga, this was like easily 10 years ago, I was in yoga and I went to my yoga instructor, James Higgins, who's since become a really popular guy in the yoga space. And I went up to him afterwards and I said to him, I don't have access to my feelings and I don't know what to do. I just feel numb. And he said, can I offer you a reframe? I said, sure. And he said, you don't have access to your feelings yet. And ever since then, I've really loved that. And I try to take anything that it is that I don't know how to do yet, and I just add yet to it because I know that I'm capable. I know that our bodies are capable of guiding us to it, but we do have to be opened up to it. And so one of the ways to do this is to start to explore the ways that we are looking to the outside world to fill our cup, to fill our holes, and also using the outside world to not have to feel, right? So like how to either say, will you take care of me? Or to like just deflect and say, I don't want to even go near this. Now, another reason why many of us learned how to stifle our sensitivity and our emotions is because our parents may not have been comfortable with it. We may not have received much emotional warmth from them. I know that when I look back at my childhood, and my parents were wonderful parents, they took care of every physical need I had. They taught me how to work hard and to think and to problem solve and how to navigate the world and not get too taken down by it and all of that. Those are really, really important things, but I never received the emotional warmth and connection and support. And so I'm just getting comfortable with other people being able to really meet me the way that I want to be met emotionally. In addition, I was very sensitive and, as my mother would call, whiny and emotional as a child. And my mom and dad didn't like that. And my brothers, they didn't like it. So they conditioned it out of me. Like, emotions aren't very safe and that other people don't feel comfortable around it and that life is easier if you're not that emotional. Stuff those feelings down and then you get to get on with life, right? And then at some point, we usually get a bit woken up. And all of this way that we're trying to control our emotions either starts to torture us because we want a more emotional connection, or our life just starts to fall apart. So we get to see the reality that we're not as in control as we think, or we just start to long for something more. We start to long for ourselves. So we then have the opportunity to go back and start to maybe have a new relationship with our feelings, a new relationship with pain, and start to say, wow, what if my feelings that I have are actually just information? What if they're telling me something? What if it's my inner guidance system? Maybe that's the way to look at it. And so what we can do is we can start to see that these holes in us are actually meaningful, and see that feeling our feelings isn't as bad as we imagine. So see, we have a layer on top of it because as a child, whatever you were feeling as a child had another dimension of what other people thought about it, perhaps the ways that you got shamed or punished for it. Maybe it was unsafe. Maybe it felt like you were all alone. And so the feelings you felt then were matched up with a sense of being small and powerless. So if you were a little girl feeling your feelings all alone, those feelings are going to feel really, really bad. But if you're able to rise up and be at the top of your mountain, holding space for everything, and then you're seeing your little girl, like you're seeing the feeling, you're observing the feeling, what happens is we start to be able to be in our adult self and realize that, that feeling, yeah, it felt yucky. And yeah, there's stuff that I need to dive into here, but it's not nearly as bad as when you're all alone as a child. But when you feel your feelings from the little girl's perspective, it can feel like it's overwhelming. And that's why it's important to set the stage and create the safety of you being at the top of the mountain holding all of you. So that's why I set that as a very important framework for your safety, is that you're stepping into the role of the adult, the loving adult or the loving parent, and holding space that you never got held for you as a child. The exercise is understanding a little bit more about what types of holes do you even have? What are the feelings that you tend to try to avoid? Is it emptiness, or is it a sense of feeling alone? Is it sadness, or is it that you're not worthy? Or is it anger that you don't want to look at? Or is it some judgment of a particular part of you that you're like, I never want to be that, when you really shut it down? Whatever it is, try to just do a little exploration around it. Then take a look at the ways that you try to avoid feeling that, or that you suppress it, or you somehow fill your hole from the outside. Take a look at that so you can watch, because we're just becoming aware of the ways that we do these things in the world. And then also all of the ways that we ask other people to fulfill our needs. So all the ways that you wish, like for me, for a very long time, it was like, I wish my husband would take care of me. I wish that he was a better listener. I felt like with my friends, I wanted them to reach out to me and be more proactive and include me more. So there were all these ways that I was looking at the outside world. And then on the right-hand side, you're going to take those and see, what are you able to do to give that to yourself? Are you willing to fill your own cup? Take care of all the things that you feel like you need from other people. Can you start to give those things to yourself? Are you listening to yourself as much as you wish other people would listen to you? And are you taking care of yourself in the ways that you wish other people would take care of you? So again, you rising up, being that loving parent, you get to then start taking care of yourself the way that you didn't get those needs that you didn't get met as a child. You get to start to meet them for yourself. And then on the last page, I talk about some of the more healthy ways that we can fill our holes, which are more like, how can we permanently fill our holes? How can we soothe those edges in our holes? How can we fill them up? How can we feel the sense that we're more whole again? So it's really about facing them, looking at them, understanding them, and then finding whatever parts we're missing and putting them in. And I've suggested things like remembering to come in here and take a class, or to do one of the meditations, or to do an exercise, or to get quiet with yourself. And there are ways that are all turning inward ways. All right. So I hope this works out well for you. If you have any questions, reach out or post below. And also, if you have anything that you want to share that you learned or observed, that would be wonderful too.